Can a used car destroy a ship? Hi, I'm Peter Ziobrowski with Halifax Shipping News. On Thursday, July 6, around 9:30 p.m., a vehicle caught fire during loading operations on board the Conroe vessel Grande Costa D'Avorio at the port of New York, New Jersey, in the Newark terminal. The ship's crew activated the shipboard firefighting equipment and called the Newark Fire Department, who responded. The fire was first reported on Deck 10 and quickly spread. The firefighters of the Newark Fire Department attempted to make a quick hit on the fire, but it rapidly spread upwards to Decks 11 and 12, causing firefighters to retreat. In the process, two firefighters became trapped amongst the cars, went missing, causing maydays to be called. 5 other firefighters were injured. Unfortunately, the 2 who went missing were found deceased. By Friday, the fire had spread forward and down 2 decks. As well, vehicles outside on the top deck of the ship were visibly on fire. The ship took a 3-degree list towards the pier, and the bridge had been compromised by fire, with the ship disappearing from AIS. By Saturday afternoon, crews had managed to have the fire contained to the 11th deck, and its spread had been stopped. They decided to maintain the list to assist with dewatering operations, and by Sunday, Deck 11 was being overhauled, meaning that the fire was basically contained and under control, and crews were chasing down hot spots to ensure that it was fully out. The ship's owners, Grimaldi Deep Sea, issued a statement indicating that the ship had 1,200 new and used vehicles aboard and 150 containers. The ship sails on a North America West Africa loop. They also claimed that the fire was under control, but it was pretty clearly still burning when this was issued, and there were reports that fuel tanks on vehicles were exploding, leading to further fire spread. Used vehicles are a significant hazard. Unlike new vehicles, they can be full of fuel, they may have other unknown contents, and are probably in questionable mechanical state. Used Toyotas in particular are a common export to Africa, both to be resold as drivers and for use as parts. Fires on RoRo vessels are also a huge issue. Vehicle decks are large open spaces, often with low ceilings, and vehicles are parked very close together, making physically moving between the parked cars exceptionally difficult. The enclosed nature of the ship means that smoke and heat are trapped in the space. A car fire can burn at 1,500 degrees, which is hot enough that other vehicles close by can catch fire just from the heat being radiated. But also, once the fire gets large enough, it's possible that they'll have direct flame contact as well. When ship's decks heat up, the fire can spread that way through convection, so vehicles on the upper decks that caught fire may have done so just from the heat of the deck below. One of the firefighters who was injured reportedly received burns from firefighting water that had pooled on a deck. Ships, of course, have onboard firefighting systems which are designed to meet international standards. The ship's fire main will have an international ship-to-shore connection, which is a standard fitting that is intended to function like a building's fire department connection, allowing external water to be applied through the ship's system should the ship's fire pump fail. Historically, though, municipal fire departments have lacked adapters to connect their equipment to the ship's onboard firefighting systems. And in this case, it appears that Newark Fire Department was unable to use their hose lines and equipment with the ship's fire main, and resorted to attempting to fight the fire with the ship's onboard equipment. Using unfamiliar equipment is a problem. Fire crews won't know if it'll work, and they certainly won't be familiar with its capabilities. Reports are in this case that they were using 1-inch hose lines, which is not nearly enough water to adequately fight a large vehicle fire. We really have to question the tactics of the first arriving Newark Fire Department crews. Reportedly, the Port Authority had a fire crew who responded initially and had some small lines on the fire, but were not having an effect. This prompted the Newark Fire Department to take over the fire operations, and I guess failing to do a proper size up, attempted to continue exactly what wasn't working. I'm not trained in shipboard firefighting, but I am a trained, qualified firefighter. And if I roll up to that ship, I'm deploying an improvised standpipe, ideally up enclosed stairwell that we can keep. And I'm going to launch the attack from there. I'm going to use 2.5-inch hose lines, probably a ground monitor if I have it. We're going to put a lot of water into that space as quick as we can, because that's going to cool the space, control the fire, and give us our best chance of success for a quick hit. I mean, I think we need to have a conversation about the shipboard firefighting equipment and whether what regulations require is actually up to the task of fighting fires on board ships. There's been numerous fires on board RoRo vessels that have become major multi-day incidents, and even some fires that have been successfully, perhaps not with the ship's firefighting systems. The Transportation Safety Board has a report into a 2003 fire on board the Newfoundland ferry, the Joseph and Clara Smallwood. There, a tractor trailer caught on fire, and the fire was initially controlled by the ship's sprinkler system and then was attacked by hand lines by the ship's crew. They fought that fire for over 2 hours before the ship was actually able to arrive at Port aux Basques, and they were able to get assistance from the local fire department, fought it for another 2 hours before finally extinguishing it. That tells me that, you know, these fires are incredibly difficult to fight, and, you know, shipboard firefighting systems may not actually be able to bring enough water to bear to quickly extinguish one of these fires before they can grow out of control. In June 2020, a fire occurred on the Pure Car truck carrier Hose I'm In, which was actually being managed by Grimaldi Deep Sea. This was again at the pier in Jacksonville, Florida. That fire managed to burn through several decks. A similar vessel to the Grande Costa D'Avorio is the Grande America. In 2019, that ship sunk in the Bay of Biscay after suffering a container fire at sea. Failure to quickly control a fire can lead to catastrophic loss. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching.